Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. Apprising helps individuals manage their money and place them on a course to become debt-free. This morning, Jay Seaton of Apprising will walk us through the process of managing the debt. Our debt, individual debt. Then Khalid Samad and Abdul Kahar of Peace in the Hood will tell us about the International Urban Peace, Justice, and Empowerment Summit. And later in the broadcast, we'll hear from June Taylor and Jamie Taylor of the Greater Cleveland Junior Golf Scholarship Fund. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so it begins. Beginning with a good friend of mine, Jay Seaton, who's a regular around here, Senior Vice President for National Affairs for Apprising. Hey, Jay.
Thanks for having me. I'd love to talk about debt today.
And we're all talking about debt. Apprising formerly was
Consumer Credit Counseling.
Consumer Credit Counseling. You help people manage debt, get out of debt, stay out of debt, and if they're in debt, how to find a way out.
The oldest nonprofit organization in the country doing that. I think it's our 57th year.
What do we do how do we manage our debt? What do you tell people when they start looking at those bills coming in the mailbox?
First, I'd like to suggest, it always amazes me after these particular appearances how many people come up to me and talk about the various stories that you tell when you were a young person about savings and debt, and now you bring out your credit card. You've impacted and got people thinking about this issue more than anybody I know around here.
I never thought of myself as a financial advisor.
It's informal, but it works. The first thing on debt that I've learned in 30-plus years of doing this is get everything together. People come to us at Apprising, formerly Credit Counseling. They come to us with a bag with unopened 15 or 20, 10, 12, whatever, unopened bills. If you want to get out of debt, you got to face it with that first step. It's not as bad as you think.
You just can't say, I'm not going to look at this bill from the XYZ company. I'll
get at it tomorrow. Doesn't work. The commitment is first. And then now, what has happened in the last several years, if you look in particular at your credit card bills, there's now a representative example of how long it'll take you if you make the minimum payment.
Yes.
And what you can do to speed that up in terms of retiring that debt, if you add $10, $20, that has made a big impact on people because it's a visual example.
Let me put a phone number on the screen where you can get more information on everything we're talking about. 800-355-2227. You can make a phone call. That's a toll-free. Or you can go to Apprising, APPRISEN.com, and you will get people on the road to helping them get solid.
90 minutes over the phone or in person in Greater Cleveland. We have 4 offices that are convenient to people, and that counseling session is free.
And it's all free, that counseling, getting started.
Yes.
And you can work with the credit card company on a payment plan so that everybody is satisfied on both ends.
Reduced payment plan to help you get out of debt.
Here's the $64,000 movement that we always do. We bring out the credit card, we bring out a credit card, and we tell people this little piece of plastic right here is a wonderful item. It's a tool, but it can get you in trouble if you use it incorrectly.
Think of it in your mind as money. You're going to have to do what you can every month to pay as much as possible on that bill, otherwise interest accrues.
You mean this little credit card right here and this dollar bill, same thing?
A lot of similarities right there.
A lot of similarities.
Yes, indeed.
So people have to think about what they're doing. Is that your advice?
They have to face it first, take a look at it, and then develop a plan.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do, especially if you add, again, this is what, when I do workshops, I know you hear this too. People think I have to have a lot more money to add towards my bill every month or I'm not making a dent. If you have an extra $20 or $30 or $40 and pay the minimum plus that, you're going to retire that debt much quicker.
What I try to do is when I have a credit card debt, and I usually have one every month, I pay it off at the end of the month, so there's no carrying charge.
The majority of folks do that, but there's still a high percentage of folks who have that, as you call it, Carrie, interest charge. And I tell folks, even if these tips don't work for you, that's what Consumer Credit Counseling is supposed to do. That's what Apprising does.
Do we teach our children right in the schools? Do we teach them financial literacy in schools enough?
We're getting better. In Ohio, there's a requirement. It's the last several years, I think the last 3 years, 2 or 3 years, there's a requirement to integrate it at some point into the education. We're a long way there. it's interesting. We're working with the Attorney General, Mike DeWine, with a program where we're going into the high schools and using some dollars that he's had from a legal settlement against a firm to be able to support our going into high schools all over the state.
What's your advice on saving when you get your paycheck or you get your pay every month or every week or however?
My advice is your story when you were young and your father telling you, and again, people ask me, is Leon going to tell that story? And I'm saying, I think that he will.
Dad said, go get a job. I asked for some money. He says, go get a job. I cut somebody's lawn for $1.25. I made a purchase for 89 cents, and Dad said, now keep the change, and you'll never be broke. And it was the last time I was broke. I was 11 years old.
Nothing I could say could be better than that.
But he always said, save something.
And you don't even have to do pay yourself first if you don't want to. Just pay yourself something.
And that way you can stay out of debt.
Yes.
Now, if people make a phone call to you, you can give them that kind of advice. Of course,
Yes.
you're going to stretch it out a lot longer.
Yes.
You're going to go deeper into that. And if all they got to do is make a phone call to a Prison.
Yes. 1-800-355-2227.
And you can stay out of debt, and your life will be good.
You'll have control.
And that's what you want, is
That's
control,
the word I hear.
of your own money.
I hear that word all the time about life, in particular about money.
Do you find that people are listening?
More and more. And this, I'll say this, and you and I have talked about this particular segment people pay attention to. They've told me in greater numbers than anything else I've ever done in all these years.
I leave home always with my credit card, but I do use it wisely, to paraphrase that old commercial.
Smart.
Use it wisely. Okay, thank you, Jay Seaton. We appreciate it. Jay is keeping money in our pockets where it belongs and keeping us out of big-time debt.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Going to take a break right now. By the way, you can log on to newsnet5.com each week to see what's coming up on Kaleidoscope. Coming up next, we'll hear about an international conference to be held here in Cleveland. It is about peace and empowerment in our community. Back in a moment. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Peace in the Hood and the International Council for Urban Violence hosts a summit that will focus on reducing violence, crime, and gangs. And the president of Peace in the Hood, Khalid Samad, is here, and so is the Minister of Justice, Abdul Kahar. They're here to talk about this event being held at Cleveland State University, which starts on May the 30th. Good to see you. Khalid Samad sitting on the right and Abdul Kahar sitting on the left. Good to have you guys here.
Oh, it's good being to be here.
Refresh our memory about the mission of Peace in the Hood, Khalid.
Peace in the Hood is dedicated to peace, justice, and empowerment. And what we've done over the last few years as a result of the Coalition for a Better Life, which was the mother of Peace in the Hood, was to develop what we call a holistic and cultural specific approach to human empowerment, which means sometimes we have to deconstruct in order to reconstruct.
Yeah. Abdul, Peace in the Hood says it all, trying to stop the violence in the neighborhood. That's what it's all about, right?
Right. We what come out of Peace in the Hood is a formation called the Task Force for Community Mobilization that deal with community self-empowerment and human transformation. And in this coalition, due to the leadership of Peace in the Hood, we was able to pull together, yeah, I'll tell you, beautiful, we're able to pull together many of the grassroots organizations. When I say grassroots organization, I'm almost talking about dirt organization. I'm talking about down
at the street level.
Yeah, so we are bringing in this type of formation and organizing to show that we can build some type of unity within the community to take on a community issue with oneness.
Yeah. Right. Khalid, tell me about this Urban Peace, Justice, and Empowerment Summit that's taking place at Cleveland State University. Starts on May the 30th. That's a Thursday.
Well, as you know, Cleveland hosted the first national organizing gang summit in the history of the United States. Yeah. It was 1 month after the first national gang summit, which was held in Kansas City, and approximately a year after the two major peace treaties that were declared in Los Angeles in '92 and Chicago in '92. The leadership came to Kansas City in '93 with the United Church of Christ and all the various other organizations, faith-based groups, and we said, well, we have to organize and put some structure to the movement. It was dubbed the Urban Peace and Justice Movement. And so we came to Cleveland 1 month later with yourself and other faith and community leaders, and we came up with this concept called the National Council for Urban Peace and Justice, which included former and inactive gang members faith and community-based leaders, elected officials, and this movement was based upon peace, justice, and empowerment.
To stop the violence in the neighborhood.
Right.
So what's going to happen, Abdul, at this big event on Thursday, May 30th, running through Sunday, June the 2nd at Cleveland State? What's going to happen there?
What we hope happening, bringing in the various brothers and sisters from around the country and outside the country to facilitate the various workshops in terms of holistic health, hoping to bring some of the young brothers and sisters that is part of a new formation that is in the community that have no guidance and understanding. So what we're talking about is bringing some of the, as I may say, old school fighters coming in that have made a human transformation to understand the value of community living, to show the young brothers and sisters that if I can make this transformation mentally, spiritually, economically, and politically, so can you.
About living for peace and pushing away
totally
the violence.
Right.
Khalid and Abdul, I've seen you've been at many a vigil, standing on a street corner.
Right.
The violence is still out there. I mean, just read the newspapers, just look at the television stations on a daily basis.
Right.
The violence is still out there. How do we turn that around? What would you say?
This is the key. We have studied, and I have sat with what I have deemed the most important minds of our time. The National Association of Black Psychologists, Black Social Workers, one of the most preeminent scholars on the planet Earth is Dr. Naeem Akbar. And he has emphasized transformation, meaning that an individual who is pathological or sociopathic is that way as a result of behavior. And that behavior comes from an attitude and a mindset that has to be changed. And so our thing is head-to-head and heart-to-heart combat, go in and show people where there's the error of their ways and point to them a vision of self-construction that comes out of a lifestyle of self-destruction. So they go to the caterpillar, you know, to the butterfly. They go in the cocoon and go into self and come out, hopefully, a healed
the transformation.
Transformation.
That's heavy. That's a heavy thought, but it's an important thought.
It's the only way to make it happen.
I'm holding a little placard here. We see if we can get a shot on this on camera number 3. Talk a little bit about this event now that's going to be taking place.
At the top, we have the International Urban Peace, Justice, and Empowerment Summit, which is the name of the summit. The theme is a call to Universal Oneness campaign, which states that we all as human beings have common denominator issues and common denominators amongst ourselves. We also will commemorate the 20th anniversary of the National Gang Summit, which led to the biggest decrease in gang-related homicides, felonious assaults, and drive-bys in America.
This is open to anybody and everybody?
Anybody and everybody. We don't burn no bridges and we don't write nobody off.
And it's free?
It's free.
Come to the main classroom auditorium building of Cleveland State University. It's going to start on May the 30th. That's a Thursday. And going through Sunday, June the 2nd of 2013 at the Cleveland State University main classroom building. And what time do you start on
We're going to be starting about 8:30. Good note, we just got a call from the White House. It's a possibility that the President of the United States will be there. We definitely have the mayor there, Congresswoman Marsha Fudge, and many of the elected officials.
So the political figures, the political leadership is on board with what you're doing.
They're on board.
And possibly President Obama.
He attended the first gang summit as a state senator.
You remember that one,
I remember that, because Mr. Burns, who was the son of Geraldine Burns, was his campaign manager.
So President Obama knows the history of what you're doing. Gentlemen, I appreciate you being on the broadcast, and we're going to pray that all goes well for this summit, because we have got to stop the violence, not only in Cleveland, but in America.
Right.
We've got to stop the violence. Khalid Samad, President of Peace in the Hood, and Abdul Kahar, Minister of Justice for Peace in the Hood, thank you so much for being on the broadcast, and thank you for what you've done. And you've been out there for years, both of you, out there for years.
Plan on being for more years.
Trying to stop the violence.
And you're welcome.
Okay.
Peace.
You know you have my support on that one. Peace to you as well. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Coming up next, a golf outing to benefit a local organization. I'm Leon Bibb. Back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Glad to have you aboard today, as we always are glad to have you aboard. The Greater Cleveland Junior Golf Scholarship Fund hosts its golf outing on June the 24th. Its Vice President, June Taylor, is here, and program alumna Jamie Taylor is here as well to talk about the organization and about the upcoming golf outing. June Taylor next to me, her daughter Jamie Taylor sitting on the outside. Good to have you with us, ladies.
Thank you.
June, let's begin with you. You're the president of the Greater Cleveland Junior Golf Scholarship Fund. What is this fund?
Right. What the fund is a program, golf program for juniors ages 6 through 18 We attract juniors from all over greater Cleveland area, almost every suburb you can think of. Our maximum number is 75. We teach children golf, but more importantly, we teach children life skills. In the game of golf, you have to know about honesty, how to be patient and take your turn. You have to know how to record things correctly. You have to be a lady or a gentleman. You have to leave the golf course in a very clean manner. So we teach them all of these skills as they are playing a wonderful golf course. Metro Parks have had us there for our whole 34 years.
Yeah.
And we're the only golf course, only group on a major golf course on a Saturday.
Yeah. Jamie Taylor is with us. She's the daughter of June Taylor. And Jamie, you're a golf pro. Where are you a golf pro?
I'm a golf professional with Cleveland Metro Parks Seneca Golf Course in Broadview Heights.
Your mother talked about there are lessons of life that can be learned about golf. I would imagine one of them is to stay in the fairway, live a good, strong life right down the middle of the street, and not so much in the edge areas of life.
Exactly. Golf teaches you many things. I mean, good judgment, timeliness, integrity. There's no coaches when you're playing golf, so you have to call all your penalties on yourself, and the opponent trusts that you will do that.
And you've learned all of that by playing golf and by being the daughter of June as well, too.
Of course.
Okay. June, tell us about this program that's coming up. I'm going to hold a little placard that you, a little flyer that you brought with you, and I'm going to hold that up. We'll get a shot of that on camera.
Right. On Monday, June 24th, we're holding our 7th golf outing. And we attract people from over 100 golfers, adult golfers, and it's a fundraiser for us, and we have only one fundraiser a year. It generates a lot of money. We make it a fun day for everyone. People who even come from out of state to play in this golf outing. We have a wonderful helicopter drop, and it's amazing to see the balls coming out of the sky. And we have winners every year, and the last year they reaped about 1,400 a piece on the ball drop. We have all kind of things going on, silent auction. We really try to make it a fun-filled day for those who come out to support our cause.
And it's going to be Monday, June the 24th at Stonewater Golf Club in Highland Heights.
Correct.
What time do we start?
Okay, we start at 7:30 in the morning, and we are ready to go. We sign you up. We have all kind of goodies that you can participate in and activities.
And Campy Russell is going to be your celebrity host, former NBA player, Cavalier player, and now Director of Alumni Relations for the Cleveland Cavs.
Yes, he is, and he has been a supporter of us for the whole 7 years.
How will this money be used now? How is this money used, Jamie? It's scholarship money. What happens to the money?
So I was also a recipient. What we do is any of our students who want to pursue a career, a technical school or college, they receive a $1,000 scholarship once they complete the program. And then if they come back to volunteer every summer, we also like to give them a stipend to help them pay for their books annually. So that a lot of that money is used for that, as well as families that may need some sponsorship to be in the program. We also give scholarships for that as well.
Let me put a phone number on the screen. Ask and it shall be given. You see the screen right there. That's my control room. They are wonderful in what they do. 216-470-2635. Get more information on everything we've been talking about, or you can go to the website, which is gcjgsf.org. You see that at the bottom of the screen as well. Write that down. Now, how can more kids get involved in this entire project of learning the game of golf and learning more about the game of life?
Right. They come to Shawnee Hills Golf Course, which is part of Metro Parks, which is located in Bedford, Ohio. They need to report in on Saturday at 7:30 in the morning. We start at 7:30. We are there for 15 weeks.
During the spring and summer
Starting the first Saturday of May through the last Saturday of August.
They come to Shawnee Hills.
They come to Shawnee Hills. We welcome them. We have a cadre of volunteers because every parent is a volunteer. We pay no one.
Would you suggest they make a phone call to this number right here?
I would strongly suggest
and then you can
make
get
it.
more information on how
Absolutely.
to get and learn the game of golf.
And I would encourage you to call right away because we are filling up fast. The word has gotten out. We had our first Saturday last week, and it is going very strong. We are at Shawnee Hills in Bedford.
And you will teach them a game of golf. They will learn the game of golf by professionals who know the game of golf, right, Jamie?
Yes, I make it my duty to not only teach them the game, but serve as a role model to the kids. And I'm even introducing some video analysis this year so the kids can see themselves from their home computer.
Jamie Taylor, who's a Class A LPGA teaching and club professional. Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you.
Keeping it right in the fairway.
Yes.
Hit the green.
Yes.
Put it in the cup.
Exactly.
That's what we try to do, right? Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, June Taylor, who's vice president of the Greater Cleveland Junior Golf Scholarship Fund. Once more, it's going to be Monday, June the 24th at Stonewater Golf Club, Highland Heights, Ohio. And the phone number you see on the screen, 470-2635 in the 216 area code. More information on everything we've been talking about. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Thank
Leon.
you.
Oh, it is my pleasure. It is always my pleasure. We'll take a break right now. In a moment, Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League with thoughts that you should hear in just a moment. This is the Morning Exchange part of Kaleidoscope, so named because with the Morning Exchange, that means Marsha Maccabee is here with thoughts from the Urban League. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon, how are you doing?
Just fine, and you too?
I'm doing well, doing well. Listen, want to share with our community today that we have something very exciting coming up on Monday, May 20th. So that'll be next week. And Mark Morial, our national president of the National Urban League, will be in town kicking off his Jobs Rebuild America tour. And we are so excited because he is launching it. We are the first city right here in Cleveland, Ohio at the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
And a whole lot's going to be said about that when
A whole
Mark
lot's
Morial
going to be
gets here.
said about bringing in resources from the national level here that we are able to leverage on a local level so that we can create more opportunities to build job training and ways to engage our community in employment, which is a big deal.
All part of the Urban League's longtime mission of 100 years of building employment opportunities.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's Mark going to say? Has he told you what he's going to say?
He hasn't told me all that he's going to say, but I know one thing that he's going to say is he's certainly glad that his Cleveland affiliate is still alive and well.
You guys, and you men and women, I should say,
Yes.
you men and women over the Urban League in our last 30 seconds have done a marvelous job with bringing that organization and lifting it up and strengthening it over the last several years.
Thank you, Leon. It's been an uphill climb, but it's been well worth it, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor now, and we're in this year now where we're turning the corner, so I'm very encouraged and very excited.
Okay, thank you, Marsha, appreciate it. That's going to do it for us. I'm Leon Bibb. We've got to go. Take care and be well.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.